I'll start off by saying that if a few years ago someone told me that I would be working for one of the top e commerce companies in Poland, I would have probably laughed in their face. The reality is that actually I was working a corporate job for quite a long time, a job that I hated pretty much every single day. And as I consider myself as a creative, someone who's into music, podcasting, music production, I had this misconception that jobs are simply there to either bore you to death or work you to death. Around the same time, I had an idea to actually launch my own music podcast. At the time in Poland, podcasts weren't really that popular. People weren't really that into podcasts yet. And I decided to do a podcast about songwriting. So it was like entering a niche within a niche. So, needless to say, I didn't really gain a lot of followers or listeners. But looking back at the time, I know that I acquired a lot of new skills and also met some amazing people that I keep in touch with till today. And I consider it to be a really formative time of my life. Last year, I finally built up the courage to quit my job, the one that I hated so much. It was really great at the moment, but at the same time, it was about 2 months before the pandemic, so not the best time to be looking for new job opportunities. And I did some jumping from job to job for like a year. I did some cab driving, some translation, proofreading, teaching English. I was all over the place. And to be honest, there were moments where I was thinking, what the hell am I doing with my life? What the hell am I doing with my professional life? I'm going nowhere. However, thankfully, in August, Divante reached out to me saying that they're looking for someone to implement a business podcast. And I instantly had a gut feeling that this project was going to be amazing. So you're probably wondering why I did this longish introduction before getting to the actual project, but I promise it'll make sense in the end. So what is the CTO to CTO project? Currently, it's a podcast that we're doing with Piotr. And what we're doing is we are inviting some of the top CTOs of the top e-commerce companies globally and inviting them to talk about hot topics, trending topics, and things that are being discussed right now in e-commerce. We have only had 10 episodes so far, but I'm really proud to say that we've had some amazing guests already. I'm sure you can recognize some of the companies on this list. We're getting some really good feedback, so I believe in this project wholeheartedly, but at the same time, I know that we're only at the beginning of this road and we would really, really need your support. So if I could ask you to please go to our website, cto-cto.com, and find an episode or two, find a topic that you think is currently trending or interesting or challenging, and share an episode with a colleague or a friend, just one episode. That would really help us start reaching new audiences and keep pushing this project and keep growing. On a personal note, I also wanted to say that the time now in Divante, it's only been 3 months, but it feels like really a lot has happened. It's been a deep dive for sure, but I know that I love a great challenge. And what I also wanted to say is that I finally feel like I belong, because for a very long time I felt like an outcast in all of the jobs that I was doing. It was like I'm doing them because I'm doing it for the money and I don't really belong. But I'm finally in a place where I've met so many passionate people, so many experts, people who really don't take any day for granted. And what I wanted to, I guess, translate in this presentation is that sometimes when you're stuck in a rut, and you don't really know how to get out of it, and it feels like there is no way out, what worked for me is just doing something for fun. For me, it was podcasting. I don't know what it would be for you. I'm not saying go make your own podcast. Only if you really feel like you want to do it. But do something just for the fun of it, and you never know, something in your brain starts happening, something around you starts happening, and you might just trigger some positive change in your life. 5 years ago, when I was crunching in Credit Suisse, doing payments from Singapore to Hong Kong, 8 hours a day, hating my life, I had no idea that I would be doing a really creative project, implementing a business podcast for one of the top e-commerce companies in Poland. And here I am. Thank you.